They have the same what? Radicand. So the number under the radical has to be the same. For multiplying, doesn't matter. You can only multiply the stuff on the outside, and then you multiply the stuff on the inside, and then you simplify. Again, we have done this before. So is everybody ready for A?
Yes.
C.
Alright, so the first thing you do is you multiply 3 times 2 and you get 6. Then you do root 2 times root 6 and you get root 12. Then we simplify the square root of 12. What does that simplify down to?
4.
4 and?
3.
Look at us go. And what's the square root of 4?
2.
And what's 2 times 6?
12.
So it's 12 root 3. Ta-da! Do I need to go over that again? Alright, let's multiply B together. What's 2 times 7? What's root 6 times root 3? Root 18. Very good. And what does root 18 break down into? And what's the square root of 9? And what's 3 times 14? So it's 42 root 2. Yay! Any questions? Can you try some without me? Could you try number 18, 32, 18 and 32, please.
You uncovered.
Are we done with 32? Did y'all get 10? Yay! Because the square root of 5 times the square root of 20 is the square root of 100, and the square root of 100 is 10. Are we done with 18? What is it, baby? No, not yet. Alright, so the square root of xy cubed times the square root of x cubed y is the square root of x to the fourth y to the fourth. And that is x squared y squared. Did anybody else get that right? Hey, that's exciting. Good job. Do you see how I got that?
Yes.
Are we sure? Okay. Let's do one more together on this page. We're going to call it C, and we're going to write it right here. What'd you break 56 down into? So then 2 times 15 is 30, root 14. How many of us got it right? That's a good number. Good job. Does anybody have any questions?
How did you get the 30?
15 times 2. The square root of 4 is 2, so 2 times 15 is 30. Any other questions? All right, are we ready to distribute? Are we sure? Okay. So distribute, you still do the same thing. You multiply. You can only multiply the numbers on the outside of the radical and then the numbers under the radical. So for A, the first thing we would do is 3 root 5 times 2 root 5. So what's 3 times 2?
6.
And what's root 5 times root 5? 5. Look at you go. And then you do 3 root 5 times 5 root 3. So what's 3 times 5?
15.
And what's root 5 times root 3?
What?
Root 15. That's not a trick question. It's decent. Alright, and then what's 6 times 5?
30.
So it's 30 plus 15 root 15. Now, can I combine 30 and 15 root 15? No! 30 does not have a radical, so you cannot combine them. Nope, because 30 does not have a radical. And we wrote at the top that says you can only add or subtract when the expressions have the same radicands. Correct? And do those have the same radicands?
No.
Nope, so you cannot combine them.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
See what I'm talking about, Butterbean?
Yeah, I was looking for a root of that. Exactly.
I don't know any of the words you just said.
Oh, that's good. It's fun.
Okay. Nom nom? Nom nom nom?
Mhm.
Alright, let's look at B. You do 3 root 2 times 4 root 3. So what is that going to give us? Yay! Awesome job. And then 3 root 2 times 6 root 2.
18 times 2 times 2.
Look at us go. Great job. Alright, where did this 2 right here come from?
That's two radical.
When you do it, it's because of the same.
Yes, 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 yes. Alright, and then what's 18 times 2?
36.
And can we combine 12 root 6 and 36?
No.
No. You want to try one without me? 15 and 16, please. And 34. Ma'am? They are. 15, 16, 34. Pardon? Plus. Fifteen, 16, 34. Alright, so for 15, did you get root 12 plus root 18? And then you have to break that down, so that's 2 root 3 plus 3 root 2. No, because they don't have the same radicand. They don't have the same number under the radical, so you can't combine them. Any questions on that? Alright, so then for 18, you get root 16 plus root 24, which gives you 4 plus 2 root 6. Did anybody get that one right? One person in the whole class?
Good job.
2 people. Okay, you do 8 times 2 and you get 16. The square root of 16 is 4. The biggest perfect square that goes into 24 is 4. So then that's 2 root 6.
And at first, almost forgot to break it down.
Because 4 times 6 is 24. Alright, number 34. I have to do it on this sticky note. No, I'm not. Sure, we're not having class. 6 root 10 minus 5.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
2 people? Hey, that's more. Alright. So, do we need to do another? Yes. Any other questions? Are we sure? So you understand how to do this?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm doing it on this, and I'm turning it over on the back. And this is distributing C.
oh yeah, I started it all.
It's the biggest perfect square that goes into 42. No.
Yeah, I can bring it down. I left it.
Because there's not one that goes into either 6 or 7. Did anybody get it right? Hey, that's exciting! Where did we mess up on, or did we just not do it?
I got it's like the 8, root 18, and stuff like that, but like how do you get this one?
The square root of 9 is 3. 3 times 8 is 24. What, Avery?
Oh, it was just like the breaking down part. I didn't know. Like the breaking down.
Okay. So you're okay now?
Yeah, I'm fine. Out of that.
Do we need to do one more? I feel like we need to do one more.
Okay, just say
Okay. Yeah, I did.
Ba-dum-ba-bum. No, I want to do 8 minus 5 root 5. Why are you?
oh yeah. Yeah.
Anybody else? Woo! Yes. You got it right, or you have a question? I can't wait any longer. I answered emails and everything. Yes. Okay. All right. Any other questions? So you'll be able to handle this test day? No. We're just multiplying numbers together. All right. Get this one up. So the second part of the lesson is on radical equations. We're going to do this worksheet together, and then you have another worksheet, your study guide, and it's all by myself day. Yay.
We're here forever.
What did you just say?
I said shoot. I didn't say that.
It's like, my God, Micah, we're not, it's not summer yet. Calm down.
Hold on.
We are in here forever. But that means you have plenty of time to get your work done.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to update grades, and maybe if I get everything done, I can tell you if you're exempt or not today.
I'm not.
Yeah,
5.
you're out all the time. I'm never here.
I'm always here.
I know I'm not.
I have 1.
Okay, are we ready to do this part of our lesson? Are we sure?
Yes. All of us.
Alright, so we need to identify the parts of our radical. Does anybody remember what this little guy's called?
Index. Oh, I said index.
Awesome. Does anybody remember what the number under the radical is called? The radicand. So we've only been working with radical expressions so far. Today we're going to do radical equations. Like the square root of x plus 2 equals 9. Or the square root of x minus 3 equals 17. Those are examples of radical equations. To solve those, you have to get rid of the radical. To get rid of the radical, you square both sides. And then solve for x. That's all you do.
Okay.
So, to solve an equation that involves a variable and a radicand, we must get the radicand on one side of the equation alone in order to solve. Solutions that result in false statements, so once you get x and you plug it back in, if it's not a true statement, those are extraneous solutions. extraneous, extraneous solutions. That means that it's not a true statement. And sometimes you're going to get two answers because you could have an x squared underneath the radical. We're going to talk about that in our worksheet. Is everybody ready?
Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm ready.
You do add 4 to the other side. So remember, we have to get the square root by itself. So as Marshall told us, we're going to add 4 to both sides. It's magic. So we now have the square root of x minus 1 equal to 4. How do we feel so far? Then, to get rid of the radical, what did I just tell you that you have to do?
Square everything under.
Yes, you square both sides, and that's how the radical disappears. And remember, we did that the other day with conjugates. When we had the square root of 2 times the square root of 2, that's the same thing as the square root of 2 squared. The radical goes away.
Because when you multiply the square root times the square root, it becomes y.
Exactly.
Y.
Love it. And so you have x minus 1 equals 16. So what would I do from here? And x equals magic. How do we feel so far?
Negative 1, we turn it off to 1. Negative 1 times 6.
You right here?
Yeah.
No, because it's the square root of x minus 1 times the square root of x minus 1, so it's just x minus 1. Okay, now, do you guys want to try this one without me? Okay, before you start on your own, what do you think we would do first? Divide by 2. Look at Marshall coming alive. Divide by 2. And you're left with the square root of 3x plus 15 equals
3.
All right, work out the rest without me. Are we done or do we need another minute? So I got x equals -2? Awesome. Alright, so why do we square both sides of the equation after getting the radical alone? So you have to get rid of the radical, and why do we do it to both sides? And that's called balancing the equation, right? So to get rid of the radical, and balance the equation. How do we feel so far? Okay, and now checking the example, checking your work means you take what x is and you plug it back in up here so that you can make sure it actually equals 0. So we're going to write our problem when we're going to plug in 17. So our problem is the square root of x minus 1 minus 4 equals 0. And what are we going to plug in for x? So it's the square root of 17 minus 1 minus 4 equals 0. What's 17 minus 1? And what's the square root of 16?
4.
And what's 4 minus 4? So it's a true statement. Look at that. Does everybody see how I did that? Can you plug -2 into the other one without me? Okay. An announcement, there is a Warrior Block Party Friday night from 6 to 9 p.m. at Buck Creek Park. $5 per person admission. Kids 5 and under are free. There will be food trucks, a dance-off contest, inflatables, vendors, and there's a dunking booth with Dr. Vickers, Dr. Hester, Coach Reeves, and Coach Murphy.
I don't know if we had a Patriots. If we don't, I'm not going.
I would like it.
Coach Truman better give me a free.
He better?
I'm just saying. Sadie said it was free.
There is a football game Saturday.
Where? At the stadium?
Yep, at the stadium.
Oh, yeah. We all play.
At 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm waiting on you.
Check you try.
Yes, this one was the example, so check the example. This one was you try, so check you try. Next time I'll make sure they put check the one you did.
Thank you, yeah. Tell them that, it's gonna be down for. Y'all, I'm on cooking on the next little bit. I shall have to choice.
So is that one a true statement?
Yeah.
Yay! Can we turn it over to the back?
I mean,
Hold on.
Okay.
no time out.
Can I turn it over now? Alright, so for number 1, what would we do? We would square both sides. Alright, so x equals 4. Do we agree or disagree? Does everybody see how I got 4? Okay, now let's plug it in. The square root of 4 should equal negative 2, but what's the square root of 4? So this is an extraneous solution.
Wait, what's it for? Not negative one?
Because negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Alright, solve number 2 without me.